You wake up, check your phone, and see a notification from your bank. A new account has been opened in your name. There's just one problem. You didn't open it. You call the bank. They ask for your full name, your date of birth, and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. You answer every question. Then the representative pauses and says something terrifying. Someone else already gave us the same information. Think about that. A stranger can be thousands of miles away, yet still have the numbers needed to become you. Not physically, of course, but inside America's financial system, they can borrow as you, apply for credit as you, collect benefits as you, and leave you fighting to prove that you're the real person, all because of 9 digits created nearly a century ago, digits that were never designed to protect your identity. So, how did a basic government account number become one of the most powerful secrets in American life? And why are we still using it like a password, even after millions of copies have been exposed? The answer begins before hackers, credit scores, or online banking existed. It begins with a country in panic. In 1929, the American economy crashed. Banks collapsed. Businesses disappeared. Families watched their savings vanish. By 1933, roughly 1 in 4 American workers was unemployed. But the crisis wasn't only about jobs. It exposed another painful reality. What happened when an American became too old to work? For many people, there was no pension waiting, no reliable federal retirement program. You survived with help from your children, your community, or a local charity. During the Great Depression, those safety nets began failing at the same time. Adult children had no jobs, charities had more desperate families than they could support, and elderly Americans were left with almost nowhere to turn. The pressure on Washington became impossible to ignore. President Franklin D. Roosevelt wanted a permanent system that could protect workers in old age. In 1935, he signed the Social Security Act. It was a huge moment, but passing the law was only the beginning. The government now had to answer a surprisingly difficult question. How do you track the earnings of millions of workers for decades? Names weren't enough. 2 people could have exactly the same name. Workers could move, get married, or change jobs. Documents could contain mistakes. The government needed a unique account label for each worker. Something simple, something clerks could organize without modern computers. The solution was a 9-digit Social Security number, and this is important. It wasn't created as a national identity card. It wasn't designed to unlock a bank account. It wasn't supposed to prove that you were really you. Its job was much narrower. Connect a worker to an earnings record so future benefits could be calculated. That's it. The original system was built for paper. Picture huge rooms filled with desks, typewriters, envelopes, and filing cabinets. No cloud storage, no instant searches, no facial recognition, not even an ordinary office computer. The numbers format helped government workers sort and distinguish records. It was an administrative tool created for an administrative problem, and because it wasn't considered a secret, people didn't protect it like one. Some Americans kept the number written in obvious places. Others reportedly engraved it onto personal belongings. A few even tattooed it onto their bodies. Sounds unbelievable now, right? But why would they worry? Online identity theft didn't exist. Credit cards were not yet central to everyday life. There was no dark web marketplace filled with stolen personal data. To most people, the number was just government paperwork. Then came an incident that should have been a warning. A wallet company wanted to show shoppers how a Social Security card would look inside one of its products, so it placed a sample card in the wallet. The company used a real Social Security number belonging to a secretary named Hilda Witcher. The card was marked as a specimen. Surely shoppers would understand that it wasn't their personal number, except thousands apparently didn't. People began using Hilda's number on official forms. Eventually, the same number appeared in records connected to thousands of different people. Investigators came to Hilda asking for an explanation, but she wasn't running some criminal operation. Her number had simply been copied into wallets and accepted by strangers. It sounds like a strange comedy. It wasn't. It revealed a flaw that would become far more dangerous later. The system could accept a person's number without confirming the person presenting it was the rightful owner, and America was about to connect that vulnerable number to almost everything. As the federal government grew, different agencies needed reliable ways to organize personal records. Millions of Americans already had Social Security numbers, so officials faced a choice: build a new identification system for every agency, or use the number that already existed. The second option was easier. During World War II, the federal government encouraged agencies to use Social Security numbers in new record systems. Adoption wasn't immediate. Changing massive paper systems took time. Then computers arrived. That changed everything. Computers could process records faster than any human clerk, but they needed consistent identifiers. Names were complicated. Numbers were clean. The Social Security number was already widely available, so its use expanded. Federal employee records adopted it. The tax system connected to it. The military began using it. Banks collected it. Government benefit programs depended on it. Later, credit reporting companies used it to help connect consumers with their financial histories. No single dramatic event transformed the Social Security number into America's unofficial national identifier. That's what makes this story so strange. It happened gradually. One form, one agency, one company, one convenient decision at a time. Each individual choice seemed practical. Together, they created a system no one had originally designed. Older Social Security cards carried a remarkable message: for Social Security purposes, not for identification. Yes, the card itself warned people not to use it for the exact purpose it eventually served, but institutions kept asking for it. Employers wanted it. Banks wanted it. Government offices wanted it. Landlords, lenders, insurers, and other businesses began requesting it. Eventually, the warning disappeared from the card, not because the underlying weakness had been solved. It disappeared after American life had already turned the number into an identity tool. And now the problem was much bigger. A number used in one database has limited power. A number shared across many databases becomes a connector. It can link your employment to your taxes to your financial records to your credit history to your housing application. The number became valuable because so many institutions agreed to recognize it, but that same value made it incredibly attractive to criminals. Here's the fundamental problem. An identifier and a password are different things. A username tells a system which account belongs to you. A password helps prove you're allowed to enter it. A Social Security number was built to identify a record, but over time, some systems began treating knowledge of that number as evidence of identity. That's like using your home address as the key to your front door. Knowing an address doesn't prove you live there, and knowing a Social Security number doesn't prove you own it. A criminal who steals the digits can type them into the same box you can. The number can't recognize your face. It can't hear your voice. It doesn't know which device belongs to you. It only knows whether the digits match a record. Worse, you usually can't replace it like a normal password. If an online password is exposed, you create a new one. If a payment card is stolen, the bank can cancel it. Getting a new Social Security number is far more difficult and limited. Even when a new one is issued, the old history doesn't simply vanish. So America depends heavily on a number that may be widely stored, repeatedly copied, and extremely difficult to change. That's not a modern security design. It's a historical accident. Now consider a newborn baby. That child may receive a Social Security number before leaving the hospital. It makes taxes and government records easier for the family. But the child won't apply for a credit card or apartment for years. That silence can create an opportunity. If someone uses a child's information fraudulently, the activity might not be discovered immediately. The child may grow up unaware that another financial identity is developing under the same number. Then comes the first college application, the first apartment, the first loan. Suddenly there may be accounts, addresses, or debts that don't belong to them. Imagine turning 18 and learning that your identity has been active for years. You didn't create the problem, but now you have to prove it. So, who caused this? The government? Banks? Credit bureaus? Technology? There isn't one simple villain. The real force behind the system was convenience. Every institution saw a number that already existed and thought, why create something new? That saved time and money in the moment. But each new use gave the number more power. More power meant more value, and more value meant more damage when it was stolen. That's the unexpected truth. The Social Security number didn't dominate American life because it was an excellent security tool. It dominated because it was available. America took a label made for filing cabinets and carried it into the digital age. A Social Security number can connect you to an earnings record. It can help match your tax return. It can point an institution toward the correct file. But it cannot prove that the person presenting it is you. That distinction may sound small. It isn't. It's the difference between a label and a lock, between finding a record and verifying a human being. 9 digits were never meant to carry an entire identity. Yet nearly a century later, those digits can influence where Americans work, where they live, what they can borrow, and how easily they can recover after fraud. The number isn't evil. It's simply doing far more than it was built to do. And that may be the most dangerous kind of system. Not one created with bad intentions, but one that became too important to replace, too exposed to trust, and too deeply connected to ignore. Your Social Security number can follow you for life, but it will never truly know who you are.